The park was bathed in golden sunlight, a soft breeze rustling the leaves of the trees. The world felt calm, as if time itself had slowed down. Peter and Myra sat on a weathered stone bench under an old oak tree, each lost in their thoughts, but together in the moment. Peter was the first to speak. He looked up at the branches stretching towards the sky, his eyes following the movements of the leaves. "Have you ever noticed how a tree grows?" he asked, "how slowly but steadily it stretches up, never rushing, yet always moving forward?" Myra smiled softly, her gaze lingering on the same tree. She had always admired its steady growth, its patience. "Yes," she replied. "It's like a quiet kind of wisdom. It doesn't hurry, yet it accomplishes everything it needs to, without effort." Peter thought about her words for a moment, his fingers tracing the edge of the bench as he spoke again. "We're always rushing, though. Always chasing something. We think we need to hurry to make progress, but the tree, it doesn't seem to think that way. It simply is." Myra nodded, a quiet understanding settling in her heart. "It's true," she said. "Nature doesn't rush. It's like the flowers that bloom when they're ready, the river that flows at its own pace. There's no pressure, no sense of urgency, yet everything happens in its time." Peter shifted slightly, now looking at her. He was puzzled. "But don't we need to act? Don't we need to hurry sometimes? Life doesn't just come to us, does it? We have to make things happen." Mira turned her gaze to the distant hills, where the sunlight painted the landscape in soft hues of orange and pink. "Maybe it's not about rushing to make things happen," she said, her voice gentle but firm. "Maybe it's about trusting that things will unfold in their own time, if we give them the space to do so. The tree grows, but not because it's in a hurry. It simply exists, doing what it needs to do when it's ready." Peter frowned, trying to process the thought, but then, how do we find that balance? How do we act without rushing? It seems like we can't just wait for things to happen. We have to move forward, right? Myra smiled, her eyes reflecting the peace that had settled within her. "Action doesn't mean rushing," she said. "You can act with purpose, with care, without the anxiety of forcing things. Look at the gardener. He waters the plants every day, not because he expects them to grow overnight, but because he knows that with patience and care, they will grow in time." Peter's expression softened as he considered this. "So, we don't need to fight the current. We just need to move with it," he said, as though a light had just gone on inside him. Myra nodded, her smile warm. "Exactly. Nature shows us that it's not about speed. It's about being steady, about trusting the process, and knowing that in the end, everything will unfold as it should." Peter leaned back on the bench, his eyes now searching the sky, a sense of calm settling over him. The world around him seemed slower now, more deliberate, as though the very air encouraged him to breathe deeply and let go of the rush. "Maybe I've been looking at things all wrong," he said softly. "Always focused on the destination, always pushing to get to the end. But perhaps the journey itself is where we find the answers, the journey, not the hurry." Myra smiled again, her gaze lifting to the oak tree above them. "The destination will come in its own time, Peter. For now, we're exactly where we need to be." And for the first time in a long while, Peter felt the weight of the world lift off his shoulders. He sat in silence, listening to the whispers of the leaves, feeling the truth of Myra's words sink deep into his heart. Nature had no hurry, yet it accomplished everything it set out to do. Maybe, just maybe, he didn't need to hurry either.